Jayden Daniels. Oh, what a great rookie year. Well, he got hurt last year, and that's always been his reputation. He got banged up his first year. He missed 10 games last year, and he wasn't good before the injury. His passer rating was in the 80s. So I think he's super talented, but he's not going to make my top 10.
All right. So, I'm not here to try to figure out whether Jayden Daniels is a top 10 quarterback at this exact moment. Honestly, that doesn't mean anything to me right now, especially given how Jayden's career has played out so far. But the doubt around him and the criticism, people saying, well, he had a great rookie year, but then before he got injured, he wasn't very good the next year, that's just incorrect. That team was a mess and was already falling apart, already dealing with injuries, and Jayden was unfortunately banged up himself. Yes, if we want to talk about Jayden's ability to stay healthy, fine, right? But that's a different conversation. We're having some revisionist history about Jayden Daniels, what this guy can accomplish, and just how elite and special he is. If Jayden can stay healthy, if he can consistently stay on the field, he will clearly be an elite top quarterback in the NFL. So questioning that is crazy to me. Again, if we want to factor in injuries, sure, that's fine. But the idea that Jayden isn't that guy is wild to me. Absolutely wild. Especially because of the season we saw from Jayden as a rookie. Sometimes you have a great rookie year because defenses don't really know what to expect from you. They don't know what you're capable of. They don't know how to scheme against you, whatever it may be. Now they have film on you, right? That whole idea. Or sometimes you just have perfect circumstances and conditions. Your offensive line is goody enough. Your receivers come up with big plays. You've got a great running game. You have an innovative coach who can get to work and put together a great season, right? We see that with veteran quarterbacks too. The league is littered with seasons from quarterbacks who aren't the greatest of all time, but they have random seasons where you're just like, what the heck was that? That's MVP stuff. That's Hall of Fame numbers. We have endless examples of quarterbacks where we said, that was one of the most incredible seasons, and it clearly wasn't their norm. When you watched Jayden Daniels play, how he played, how he approached the game, the plays he was making, you could tell it was pure talent, execution, and poise. You could see the types of throws he was making that, whether it's year 1 or year 10, that's who Jayden Daniels is. It wasn't just circumstances coming together to give him a great season. Now, were some of the circumstances coming together for them to have such great fourth quarters, win those close games, make the playoffs, and win playoff games? Yeah, absolutely. I've used Jayden Daniels, and C.J. Stroud for that matter, as an example of how hard it is, even if you're having one of the best rookie seasons of all time, to still make the playoffs and still win. I use Jayden as that example because I obviously praise him, so I clearly think he's awesome. But I'll still use him as an example. Jayden had one of the greatest, if not the greatest, rookie seasons ever, and yet his team could have missed the playoffs. That Hail Mary doesn't go. Jalen Hurts doesn't get injured against the Eagles. Or even the fact that Devonta Smith just catches the ball from Kenny Pickett, the Commanders could have found themselves on the outside looking in. And it wouldn't have been because Jayden wasn't good enough. It was just the way it unfolded. It was totally on the table. Their kicker could have missed a field goal. Baker doesn't fumble, and they don't beat the Bucs, right? It's absolutely possible. But some other circumstances came together, and so we were able to truly see the peak. Sometimes those things can happen more specifically for an individual quarterback, which then artificially inflates who they actually are. That's not how Jayden reached greatness. It was clearly his elite passing, his elite mobility, his elite processing, his elite decision-making, his elite anticipation, his elite timing. I mean, that is just very clear. Everyone is super high on Drake May, as am I. I think Drake May is awesome. Awesome. He was not awesome in the playoffs. And we could say, well, the offensive line this and that, but I saw Jayden make do again and again and again and again as a rookie. As a rookie. And he had to lead his team week after week after week. Drake had Tom Brady's offensive coordinator, a guy who has coached more playoff games than most coaches have coached regular season games. You think that's an advantage? Having Van Pelt? That defense? That running game was really cooking and gaining a lot of momentum. The Commanders would not have been able to win a playoff game, let alone a regular season game, if Jayden had played the way Drake May played in any of those playoff games. They would not have won a single game. They would have lost every single game. Okay? They would have been winless. No question about it. Not a single doubt in my mind, they would have lost to the Cleveland Browns. They would have lost to Arizona. Even the games they obviously blew out, they would have just lost. That's what Jayden Daniels did. That was remarkable. Was he perfect? Was he elite the next season? First off, we always give the benefit of the doubt to let these players play into the season, and Jayden didn't get that luxury because right from the jump, he got banged up, the team got banged up, things were a little weird. Then everyone's kind of in and out of the lineup, you can never actually get momentum, and it's really hard when you're only in year 2. It's a little different if you're Josh Allen or Pat Mahomes or Joe Burrow, you've been playing for years and years. Jayden is still learning the NFL. So it's really hard when you're already banged up, the team's banged up, and what you were looking to do offensively, you can't really do anymore. And again, you're in and out. People said, oh, he wasn't very good. He went up against an elite Green Bay Packers defense that people were saying was going to win He Super Bowl. I mean, that defense's coordinator just got a head coaching job. I remember watching that game, it was either a Thursday night or a Sunday night game, one of the primetime games, and there was nothing for Jayden to do, nowhere to go with the ball, nobody was open, and Jayden was getting rocked. And we want to use that as a reference point, yeah, he wasn't even injured yet, and he wasn't that good. Wait a second. The offensive line was getting destroyed. We make excuses for all other players with poor offensive lines. Jayden had nowhere to throw, nowhere to go. Play calling was bizarre. And we want to say, well, his passer rating was only 80 or something. Like, what? Then he comes back and plays against the Seattle Seahawks defense. He only played so many games, and the games he did play were against literally elite defenses. And again, he wasn't even fully healthy, and the team around him wasn't healthy. Who was he throwing to? Debo? What are we talking about, man? And 45-year-old Zach Ertz? Come on. Terry McLaurin wasn't even really part of training camp because he was having contract negotiations. The team from the jump was set up not to succeed. So I'm not going to hold that against Jayden Daniels. And obviously he got injured. So no, I'm not going to look at his rookie year as maybe an outlier and year 2 as more the reality, because that's what we're doing right now. We're taking year 2 as probably closer to who he is, and we're looking at year 1 as an outlier because we always say, well, lots of quarterbacks have great rookie years. Not like what Jayden did. Not the best ever. I recently broke down all the film with Jayden and broke down the divisional round, because we're having some revisionist history about what Jayden was able to accomplish and how he played. It was not easy sledding for him. He was not taking advantage of bad teams, bad defenses, bad coaches, bad this, bad that. He had to go up against it. And if he hadn't had to go against the Eagles, he would have been in the Super Bowl. And I think they absolutely positively could have beaten the Kansas City Chiefs. Absolutely. And I think Jayden is built for big games like Super Bowls. So I have no concerns about how he would have done. Better than Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes practically has more interceptions than touchdowns, especially when you remove the garbage touchdowns he got against the Eagles. His touchdown-to-interception ratio and passer rating in Super Bowls are horrendous. Like literally horrendous. That's just basic math, basic stats. Don't get mad at me. So yeah, we can doubt and question Jayden all we want. And we can doubt and question the Commanders franchise right now. I'm on the fence about the direction they're moving in, the decisions they're making, ownership. The owner seems to be struggling with all the teams he owns right now, hockey, basketball, football. I get it. You're really wealthy. You have a lot of power. But I don't know. You might be a little spread thin. Maybe someone's not supposed to own like 90 different professional teams. Maybe that's not the best. So I'm optimistic for sure, but I've said this before, I believe in Jayden. I believed in what the Commanders did in 2024. I predicted that. But since then, I don't feel as comfortable, as confident, obviously with Jayden I do. But everything else, I'm kind of in a wait-and-see moment. I've been putting pressure on Dan Quinn, the coaching staff, etc. So I kind of want to wait and see. But make no mistake about it, that's a separate conversation from Jayden Daniels. And it crushes me. It crushes me knowing how awesome, how brilliant, how special Jayden is, and just knowing that he's forgotten now. Colin has a top 10 list, he's got Caleb at 3 and Drake May at like 8 or 7. And it's like, you guys don't realize who Jayden Daniels is. You're just not quite understanding who Jayden is. So far, I think Jayden has the potential to be the best passing dual threat quarterback we've ever seen. Like true dual threat, because I don't know, we can't really say Mahomes is actually dual threat, right? I can't really say that. Drake May, Caleb, it's just like, in the purest sense. Because I don't even know what dual threat means anymore in the modern NFL. Everyone's mobile. Everyone can kind of do a little bit of everything. So we have to draw a line between the mobility of a Drake May and the mobility of a Lamar Jackson. Right? There are different levels to it. And also, we want these quarterbacks to run less, so it's not like you have to rush for 900 yards to prove you're a true dual threat. So what is a mobile quarterback? Is Brock Purdy a mobile quarterback? Baker Mayfield is a mobile quarterback. Those terms are kind of dated at this point. Like saying smartphone. Oh, make sure you get your smartphone. I can't believe we still say that. Every phone is a smartphone. Who has a phone that's not smart? It doesn't even make sense. So I just think, in the loosest sense, when we look at quarterbacks where mobility is a very front-facing aspect of who they are, I would not say that about Patrick Mahomes anymore. I don't think that's really been a big part of his game anymore, personally. Jalen Hurts is mobile, but it's clearly a different level of mobility than Lamar. Josh Allen and Lamar are both mobile, but in completely different ways. Josh is way more physical, Lamar is way more quick. So it's a hard thing to categorize. But if we're being a little looser with this idea of mobile quarterbacks, dual threats, etc., I think Jayden Daniels has the potential to be the best passer in that regard. Especially if we're looking at the new batch of quarterbacks, Drake May, Caleb, Jayden, if we're going to look at those guys as hey, they're dual threat, they're mobile quarterbacks, then from a pure passing ability standpoint, Jayden is special. Jayden is special. But those are just my thought. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Jayden Daniels? And again, I don't think it's worth arguing whether he's a top 10 quarterback just because of how things have unfortunately unfolded for him. But just the conversation overall around Jayden and the Commanders. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single comment, whether you agree with me or disagree. Either way, let's get into some discussions. Let's get into some debates. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something we all genuinely feel connected to, something we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, it really helps with visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.